Okay, for this, we're looking at the Magic 8 Ball. So, in Canvas, in the modules section, you'll find these directions. So, again, I provided the link for the coding site and then the link for the directions. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the directions here. So, when you go on, you're going to click on the activity link, and it's going to take you through and put together this code. Now, when we put together this code, the second step here, you're going to assemble these two blocks, big blocks of code. So there are actually um, 3 blocks in here that you're going to put together. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that this is actually uh, put together properly, because when they put this together, they didn't add a block of code that we'll need. Um, so which I'll show you. So the first thing we want the Magic 8 Ball to do is show the question, ask a question, um, and then have it show number 8 on the screen. And after it does that, then when we shake the microbit, we're going to have it go through some different steps. So I'm going to go scroll down so we could see the whole code after we're done. So what we want to have the microbit do is we want to shake the microbit. We want to have it clear the screen because we don't want anything on the screen when we uh, have something come up. So we want to have the screen cleared of any letters or numbers or anything. And we're going to tell the microbit to choose a random number and between, in this first part, 0 to 2. So imagine it's rolling a dice and it has 3 sides uh, and has 3 numbers, 0, 1, or 2. So if the random number that it rolls is equal to 2, then that means to show on the screen a yes. So number 2 equals yes. So when the computer on the microbit generates random numbers, we assign it to show a sentence, a word. So in this case, it's a yes. So when you read your code, it should read left to right, almost like a sentence. So we want to show string yes, and then or else if the random number is equal to 1, to show the string no, or else show the string I don't know. So notice here that the I don't know doesn't have a number attached to it because we've already said 1 and 2 what they are, so the only other number we have is a 0. So we don't need to assign it a number because that's only one left. After it shows an answer, then it goes back and shows the number 8. So it should look like this when we put the code together. So we want the 2 that I talked about here that were kind of off on their own. Notice that they are light color. They're not dark like these other ones because they're not active. They won't do anything. I need to have these work when the microbit is started. So it'll say ask a question like it's showing over here on the emulator. And then after it goes through and says ask a question, it'll show the number 8 and it will wait for us until we shake the microbit. So once we shake the microbit, so I'll click, it'll randomly generate a number, which then it's assigned to a string of letters that it will show for an answer. So that is the Magic 8 Ball activity. What you'll need to do next is go to the challenges. If we click the challenges, it's going to tell you to use that same code and we're going to add to it. So Magic 8 Balls have more than 3 answers usually. So what it's going to do is it's going to have you add more answers that it could give. So if we look through the code here, it has challenge 1, challenge 2, challenge 3, and it's simply challenge 4. It's simply just having you add more answers. So basically what you're doing is you're taking one of these blocks, these if then else blocks, which is the choice that the microbit has to make. We're basically just copying those. So we're going to take this block of code, and if I have this if then else block highlighted, I can right click on it and I can duplicate it along with anything else attached to it. and I can reuse that. So I'm going to take out this show string, this last one, and where in the else section I'm going to place this if then else block. And it adds another option for it to choose from. And I'm going to get rid of this one since I already have another definitely. And I can continue doing that, giving the microbit any number of options, as many as I want. And then the last if then else, I'll stick this lone show string by itself. So I'll just need to go back and I'll need to change my answers here to these no show strings, these two here I added in, and also renumber these. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up so that I make sure I get everything correct. So I start with 1 and I work my way up, and whatever this number is, I want to change the number for the pick random. And then go in and change these. So I get different options I can choose from. So when I go over to the emulator now and I reload it, it's going to have to go through ask a question before we can do anything else. And then I'll shake it and I should see some of these other answers appear. So if I shake it, I get definitely, which is rolled to 0. And then if I click shake again, hopefully I get something else. I get yes. So I might get the same answer, might not. That's the magic 8-ball. So the more of these if then else blocks you put in and attach them one into the other, the more options you give your microbit to make a different response.